Today we are going to study force and pressure motion. Motion as a change in position of an object with respect to time. When we look around, we see many moving objects. Example, building, tree, etc. are considered at rest, while the moving car and the birds are considered to be at motion. So let's see how the objects are at rest as well as in motion. We can say that a body is at rest if it does not change its position with respect to time and its surroundings. Example, a standing tree remains fixed in its place if you see at different time intervals. So, it is said to be at rest. If an, an object changes its position with respect to time and its surroundings, it is said to be in motion. Example, you can see a moving car. We find that its position is continuously changing with respect to us and in different interval of time. Let's see an activity. Now you can see a boy is throwing a ball and that ball was in motion. But when it touches the ground, it comes to rest. So, what do we conclude it? That an object can be in motion as well as in rest. The scientist Albert Einstein was born in Germany and he was one of the greatest scientists of all time. He developed the theory of relativity. He became professor of physics at the University of Berlin and received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. Einstein left Germany in 1933 and settled in the US. He developed the special and the general theory of relativity, rest, and motion. Now we'll see an example. Let us consider a situation where you are traveling in a train with one of your friends. So, with respect to your friend who is sitting beside you, you are at rest. But when you look outside, you are constantly changing your position with respect to platforms, houses, trees, electric poles, etc. So, simultaneously, you are both at rest and also in motion. Again, when we say that a body is at rest, we consider that the earth is at rest. But actually, earth is in constant rotation on its own axis. So, everything on the earth is also in motion. Thus, we can say that there is no absolute rest or motion. Both rest and motion are relative terms. One body which is at rest with respect to a particular reference frame will be in motion with respect to another reference frame. As you can see, the car was moving, it's in motion, but the trees are all at rest. Now let's see the types of motion. objects move in different ways. For example, car moves in a straight line, fan rotates, earth revolve around the sun. Therefore, motion can be classified in these following categories. First is translatory motion. This type of motion is observed where all parts of an object move the same distance in a given time. Then it is said to be translatory motion. As the car is running on a straight road, this possesses translatory motion. Example is being seen to you. There are two types of translatory motions. First, rectilinear motion. You can see when the batsman was running for the runs, it is all the example of rectilinear motion. If you throw a stone downward from the rooftop, a bicycle moving on a straight road, a batsman taking a run between the wickets, are all examples of rectilinear. A group of ants moving in a line. Second is your curvilinear motion. This refers to the translatory motion of an object on a curved path. Example, a car moving along a circular path, the motion of a javelin, shot put thrown by an athlete. Now let's see circulatory motion. When an object moves along a circular path, it is called circular motion. As the fan blade is rotating, movement of the moon around the earth and movement of the earth around the sun are all examples of circulatory motion. Now let's see the types of circular motion. One is your rotatory and the other is revolution. When an object turns or spins about a fixed path or axis, it's called rotatory motion. As you can see, the potter's wheel. When you see this particular figure, these are the blades of the fan. So the P point is nearer to the axis and the Q point is farther to the axis O. Examples: spinning top, moving fan, spinning potter's wheel. In rotatory motion, different parts of an object move through different distances during the same time. When the earth is moving around the sun, it is taking revolutions. Example, earth is revolving around the sun in a definite orbit. Second, toy train moving on a circular track. Now let's see an activity of revolution of a stone. Take a piece of thread and tie a stone at its one end. Tie it on the one end of the thread and whirl it around in circular path. The distance of stone from your hand remains the same. The stone revolves around your body in a circular motion. Now let's see oscillatory motion. The complete to and fro motion of an body about its mean position is oscillatory motion. If oscillatory motion, the object repeats its motion about the mean position after a regular interval of time. Let's see the examples. Motion of pendulum clock, motion of swing, and motion of piston in an moving engine. The another part is repetitive motion. When an object undergoes to and fro motion in such a way that some parts of it execute to and fro motion but the other part do not, then it is known as your repetitive motion. Examples: motion when the strings of guitar are plucked. Now let's see an activity. Take a thin metallic wire and stretch it between 2 points tightly. Pluck it with the center. You will notice that it shows to and fro motion, which is also known as repetitive motion. Now let's see periodic motion. When motion of an object is repeated after a fixed interval of time, it is known as periodic motion. The motion of the earth around the sun is repeated after 365 days. Thus, the earth completes its motion around the sun in a fixed interval of time, which is 365 days. Hence, it is an example of periodic motion. Example: swinging of the pendulum clock, the motion of the needle of sewing machine. Periodic motion is used for measuring time. Example: the pendulum of a clock completes one oscillation in 1 second. When 60 oscillations take place, the time moves by 1 minute. Non-periodic motion. When an object does not repeat its motion after a fixed interval of time while moving, this is known as non-periodic motion. Example: speed of a walking boy, swinging of tree branches, etc. Random motion. If a body frequently changes its direction of motion in an irregular manner while moving, its motion is called random motion. Example: motion of mosquito, motion of smoke particles in air, etc. Multiple motion. When an object possesses two or more types of motion at the same time, it is called multiple motion. Example: when a spin bowler delivers a ball, the ball has a motion of spin, so it is known as rotatory motion, while it moves towards the batsman, so this is your translatory motion. Second, the earth rotates around its axis, its rotatory motion, and at the same time it revolves around the sun in a curved path, that is curvilinear motion, in a fixed interval of time, so it is periodic motion. The drill machine has both translatory and rotatory motion. This is because while it is being rotated, it is also pushed forward, that is translatory motion.